What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're getting into my Week 5 NFL predictions. Before we get into it, let's look at Week 4, the recap of Week 4. Starting out here with the Thursday night matchup, we had the Green Bay Packers taking on the Lions, and I actually picked the Packers in this one to pull off a big-time upset. Clearly was wrong on that one. The Lions were the more dominant team, and they get a huge win for that franchise. And then I picked another upset. I picked the Falcons to beat the Jaguars in London. Wrong about that one. Desmond Ridder has not looked good, and the Jaguars, much better team, it seemed, in that one. They get the win. Bills, I picked the upset. The Bills over the Dolphins. Not a lot of people probably anticipating that one for a Bills win after the way the Dolphins looked, but I was one of the 43% of people to pull off the win. So, yeah, I picked 3 upsets in a row to start out the week. It was a difficult schedule, to be honest. Difficult week for predictions, but did pick the Broncos game right. They came back down 21 to upset the Bears. Big win for Broncos to get their first win, and a very disappointing loss for Chicago. I did pick the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Titans, and I just don't know what is going on with the Bengals at this point on in the season. Their offense just is struggling. It's rough, man. I don't know what is happening with the Bengals right now. And the Titans offensively looked very good in that game. Did pick the Browns to beat the Ravens. Should have flipped this one when I heard that. I actually never knew that Dorian Thompson was going to be playing in this one. I don't know when that was announced that Watson was injured. I would have probably flipped it, but I'm going to stick with my wrong pick there. Even the way that the Browns offense looked in that one, I doubt that Watson would have made a difference. The Ravens probably would have won that one. So, got that one wrong. I take responsibility for that loss there. I did pick the Rams to beat the Colts. The Colts almost came back and pulled off a big win against the Rams. That would have been a tough loss for Los Angeles to swallow, but they do get the win to advance on to 2-2. I did pick the Saints to beat the Bucks, and I didn't even know Derek Carr was going to be playing in this one. I still picked the Saints. Yeah, just an embarrassing loss. The Saints offense had nothing going, and the Bucks were the better team, it seemed, in that one, even on the road there. I picked the Eagles to beat the Commanders. Got that one right in overtime. Big win for Philly. Probably a lot closer than a lot of people anticipated there. You see only 3% of people picked Washington. Vikings, I did pick them to beat the Panthers. Offensively, Carolina was winning this game for a decent amount, I think, but just couldn't hang on. And the Vikings got the win. And then I got the upset pick right. Houston over Pittsburgh. I just had a gut feeling Houston was going to come out and win this one the way the Steelers' offense has been looking. And I was right. The Texans get the win, and the Steelers, that is a tough pill to swallow there for Mike Tomlin's unit. The Chargers did beat the Raiders there. Pretty simple win for Los Angeles in that one with Jimmy G going down. The Cowboys, I did pick that one right over the Patriots. The Patriots offense just fell asleep in this one, to be honest, and the Cowboys crushed New England there. The Niners did beat the Cardinals there. Not surprised by that one. That was my lock of the week. Arizona did compete for a little bit in this game, but it was just clear the Niners were the better team in it, and it showed up in that second half. Surprising one here. Almost got this one wrong. The Jets and Zach Wilson almost pull off a big upset against the Chiefs, but it wasn't enough. The Chiefs did win that one, and I got that one right. And then rounding it out, I did pick the Seahawks to beat the Giants. Dominant win for my Seattle Seahawks, 11 sacks in that one. Devin Witherspoon picked 6. What a season he's had to start out the year. The Seahawks win it. So that means I went 11-5 in week 4, which is pretty solid, of course, and that leaves me with a 41-23 record, which isn't bad. After the start I had, we're getting up there. If we can keep having these good weeks, we'll be just fine. Okay, let's start out here with my predictions. Starting out with the Thursday night football game, we have the Commanders and we have the Chicago Bears. Chicago, in my opinion, is the worst team in football right now. Not a lot of time to prepare for this one after a tough loss to the Broncos. Washington looked very impressive against the Eagles now. Justin Fields looked good. Can he put together 4 quarters of football, though, like that? I'm not sure. This Commanders' defense is pretty darn solid. I'm going to give it to Washington in this one, and they should win it. Okay, next up we have the Bills and the Jaguars in London. And now things have just gotten much tougher for Jacksonville here, playing a very good Buffalo Bills team, man. The Bills are rolling right now. Josh Allen's looking like a top quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is playing good football, especially last week, but there's still something off about that offense, it seems, for the Jaguars. And it's going to be tough to beat a Buffalo Bills team that is firing in all cylinders right now. So I'm going to give this one to Buffalo for the win. By the way, this is the first week we have bye week, so 4 teams missing games here, so we only have 14 matchups to predict here. So crazy that we're already to bye week, man. This season's gone by fast already. Okay, next up we have the Texans-Falcons. And man, I'm torn on this one right now because the Texans have looked very good. CJ Stroud's looked really, really good for Houston. But this Falcons team overall, I think, is the better team. It's just the quarterback that's holding this team back, and I just don't know at what point do the Falcons just move on from Desmond Ridder and start Taylor Heinicke. I would not be surprised if Desmond Ridder gets benched in this game. I would not be surprised if Arthur Smith just straight up says, we're starting Taylor Heinicke to start it this week because Ridder's just looked horrible to start it this year. I'm going to give this one to the Falcons in an upset this week. I do think, like I said, the Falcons talent-wise are the better team. I just don't really trust Desmond Ridder. I'm going to trust the Falcons, though, this week again. Bijan Robinson, if they can get this run game going, this is going to be a tough run attack that this Texans team is going to have to stop. I think people are forgetting how good, how talented this Falcons offense is without Desmond Ridder leading the charge. If they can just grind out a football game here at home, I think they can get the win. So Falcons at home, I think, will beat Houston, but I'm not confident in that one. That one's going to be a close game, I think, or it could be a blowout with Houston if Houston continues to play the way they have. So I'm going to go with the Falcons, though, in that one. I think that they're the better team, and I think that's a good upset pick right there. Okay, Lions-Panthers, and this one should be simple. The matchups just go straight towards the Lions. This Lions defense has looked very good to start of the year, aside from one game against Seattle. And they're going up against a trash Panthers offense, arguably, I would say probably the worst offense in the league at this point with that O-line. I mean, the Giants' offense isn't quite far off, though, to be honest. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions here. Defensively, they should shut down the Panthers, and offensively, the Panthers' defense isn't going to have enough in this one. I'm going to go with Detroit. Okay, Indianapolis versus Tennessee now. Another very good game here. Tennessee's just a tough team to predict at this moment, man. I was expecting this team to be a little bit more consistent coming into this year, but my oh my, this team's just been the most inconsistent team in football. Ryan Tannehill's looked like a top 10 quarterback at weeks, and he's looked trash a couple other weeks this year. Anthony Richardson, though, I've been very impressed by Richardson's development so far this season, though, for the Colts. And defensively, I really think that this Colts team is well coached. It seems like the Titans, week in and week out, they're just kind of flip-flopping right now. Mike Vrabel's unit. This is a tough one, but I'm going to go with the Colts at home. Anthony Richardson continuing to develop. It seems Jonathan Taylor's coming back for this one. I think that the Titans are the better team, but based on what we've seen this Titans team in the odd weeks of this season, this team's not looked good. So offensively, so I think I'm going to go with the Colts in this one to get the win. Okay, Dolphins Giants now. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a tough loss. This is the perfect bounce back opportunity against a very bad Giants team. Defensively, this is their time to bounce back after playing the Bills, really getting torched by the Bills in that game. So I think the Dolphins bounce back in this one. They should do it, and they should probably dominate the Giants. Patriots Saints now. Weird game, man. Weird game. This should, both these teams offensively looked horrible. To be completely honest with you guys, these offenses weren't good. So I think this is going to be a straight up defensive battle. It's being played in New England. The offense has not been good for either of these teams right now. I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one, though, because I trust Bill Belichick more than I do the Saints coach. What is his name again? Let me see. I know his face. Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen, that's who it is. Yeah, I just don't trust Dennis Allen, to be honest with you guys. I trust Bill Belichick more than I do Dennis Allen. I think this Patriots team will bounce back. It's being played in Gillette. If this one was being played in New Orleans, I probably would have flipped this one, but it is being played in New England, so I'm going to give it to the Patriots. Okay, Steelers, Ravens. I don't think you can count out Mike Tomlin for this game. The Steelers offense hasn't looked good to start of the year, but last week I think was an outlier where they just looked the worst so far this season for that offense. Can they bounce back? Maybe. It's being played in Pittsburgh, so that helps. But I just don't trust the Steelers offense at this point, and as good as this defense has been, the Ravens defense is better. But it's a rivalry game, man. You never know what can happen with these two. It seems whenever you have a rivalry game come on, then for some reason, the Ravens play to the Steelers level whenever you have these two play, and the Steelers play up to the Ravens level. So I could very much see that happening. I could very much see Tomlin get things figured out. I just don't trust Matt Canada as an offensive coordinator, though. So the Ravens, I think, should win this one, but we'll see what happens. I could very much see the Steelers pulling off a big upset at home. All right, Eagles-Rams now. I'm intrigued by this matchup because you look at what the Eagles D-line put up against a bad Commanders offensive line. It wasn't great, man. I'm expecting more out of this football game for this team. And then offensively, the Eagles offense should be able to play well. They've been playing well this season. Ever since that Patriots game, really, they've been playing some good football. But I'm intrigued by that offense, that Rams offense versus that Eagles defensive matchup, because the Eagles defense hasn't been as good as I thought that they would have coming into the year. I am going to go with Philadelphia. I just think this team's the better team overall. Cooper Kupp, I think he's coming back for this one. So if Matthew Stafford can get that ball out quick, it's going to be a good receiving core for the Eagles, for the Rams. But Eagles, I think, are just straight up the better team. Even with this one being played in Los Angeles, I think the Eagles should win this one. Okay, Bengals, Cardinals. Man, Bengals, Cardinals, what do I do with this one? Because the Cardinals have been a scrappy team so far this season. If they get this win, man, that's going to be crazy. The Cardinals really beat the Cowboys a couple weeks ago, shockingly. Could they do it again against the Bengals? Bengals have looked not good so far this season. But the Cardinals overall, I think, have the least amount of talent roster-wise in the league. It's just the coaching has really helped this team out. They're a well-coached team, I think, so far. And that's a real refreshing, I think, for Arizona fans, the way they've been with you know, whatever his name was. Coaches are slipping my name today, but yeah, whoever that coach was that they had them last year. I'm gonna go with the Bengals though. I'm gonna trust Joe Burrow and the Bengals again, but I'm not confident in it. This team's not looked good to start at the year offensively. But I think the defense, even if this offense struggles, we saw it against the Rams, the defense should do enough in this one to pull out the win, but I am not confident at all in that one. Okay, Broncos, Jets. I'm intrigued by this game. I'm intrigued by this one because, honestly, the Broncos offense has been good to start out the year. Call me crazy. Russell Wilson's been playing really good football, top 10 football, a top 10 quarterback football. It's just this defense is the worst in the entire league, and it's hard to win games when your defense is giving up touchdowns on every drive, it feels. The Jets, you saw Zach Wilson last week. It was a big win for that team. It was a big, not win. It was a big Zach Wilson performance for this team, giving them some hope. And Zach, he looked like the second overall pick that this team invested in. But I'm interested in this game. The Jets defense, I think, should do enough in this one. It is a better defense than what the Broncos offense brings, I think. That Broncos O-line is still concerning, and the weapons aren't great. It's really just Russell Wilson leading this team, I think. And then Zach Wilson, if he can play like he did last week, this Broncos defense is horrible, so he should be able to throw in them. But I don't know if I trust that Zach Wilson week in and week out. This one's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this one because I know it's two teams that on paper aren't great, but a win here could propel this team. I still think this Broncos defense has talent. If they can figure things out on that side of the ball, man, with the way this offense has been playing, this could be a team that could turn things around. And I really betted on this team in the offseason. My Broncos season predictions video. If you want to check that out, that's my most popular video right now. I was hyping up the Broncos. I've been wrong about that defense, but I still trust their potential. But I'm going to go with New York in this one. I just think they're the better team right now, and the defense is the better unit than the Broncos offense. Okay, Chiefs, Vikings. Honestly, when I first saw this matchup, I was kind of thinking potential Vikings upset here. The Vikings need a win. They know it. They do not want to drop to 1-4 at this point. It's basically even worse than 0-3. You just do not want that if you're the Vikings, but you got to go up against the Chiefs, man. And I think Patrick Mahomes is going to wake up after last week. He's going to play a good game of football. Vikings I think the Chiefs offense is better than the Vikings offense, and the Chiefs defense is better than the Vikings defense. And I just don't see the Vikings winning this one. I actually can see a world, but I'm just not going to bet on it. Okay, Sunday Night Football. I'm excited for Sunday night. This could be a good game. This is going to be a big game, I think. Niners, Cowboys. Big game. The Cowboys, can they get their revenge for the past couple years with the Niners kicking this team out of the playoffs? Wow. The Niners, have looked very good to start out the year on defense. Cowboys, outside of the Cardinals game on defense, have looked very good. It is being played in San Francisco, which is going to make it tough, I think, for Dallas. So I'm going to go with the Niners here in this game. I think they're the better team. And I think that's all the Niners are going to need in this one. I think that they have a more consistent season so far. At home, I could see a Cowboys upset, but I'm going to go with the Niners here. And it really pains me to say it as a Seahawks fan, but Niners, I'm going to go with them to win it. Okay, final game on Monday night. We have Raiders-Packers. I don't know why the Raiders and the Packers are getting so many primetime games. You know, the Raiders, I think, have already had 2. Packers have already had 2. These teams just aren't very good. I mean, the Raiders aren't very good. The Packers, I think, are a good football team. Just a bad week last week. So, I'm going to go with the Packers here. The Raiders, there's so much uncertainty. They have talent with Adams, Josh Jacobs, and Max Crosby on defense is one of the best pass rushers there is. But outside of that, the talent just isn't there. The Packers have all the talent in the world. Just Joe Barry's off defensive coordinating has just been bad. I just think they need to move on to a competent defensive coordinator at this point. So I'm going to go with the Packers, though. They're the better team, I think, with Jordan Love. Even on the road, they should get this win. So, yeah, Green Bay, I think, wins it on Monday Night Football. All right, those are my Week 5 NFL predictions, guys. I don't see as many upset opportunities as I did last week. We got to do a lock of the week. I think I have 2 upsets or 3. We got the Falcons, Colts, if you want to count that one as an upset, and the Patriots. Lock of the week, I think we're going to go with the Dolphins. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Dolphins over the Giants. Just straight, or Lions, Panthers, those both. I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins one, though. So yeah, guys. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your Week 5 predictions. Anyway, guys, peace out.